Alrighty, fellas, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? Happy Tuesday, okay? But more importantly, it is day 51 out of 62, I believe, in PokeMMO, the first ever official Shiny Wars, okay? I'm going to try to buy best today. I'm going to shunt. I'm going to do ×3 hordes. I have some eggs to pop. We're going to grab those from the PC. I have been saving all of my eggs to pop on stream because if I get an egg shiny, I may as well, you know, get it live, have that interaction with you guys, have that reaction, have that experience. It's just so different, the experience of getting a shiny on stream versus off. And I want to be able to keep those rare ones on stream whenever possible. But good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is stream recap number 170, which is amazing. When I kind of switched my content in a large way over to stream recaps, allowing me to do a lot more things that I couldn't do previously. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you do enjoy the stream recaps, a quick like on the video, it really makes the world's difference, but I don't want to bombard you with that too early in the video. Let's go ahead and actually jump into today's challenge, jump into what we're doing today, and just try to get some freaking shiny Pokemon. Good luck on your shunts today, fellas. All right, I'm going to click this shiny for 2 seconds, and then we're not going to talk about it, and we're going to move on, because I have a video coming out on it later today after stream, okay? But what I will say is that this is one of the most amazing, beautiful, yet terrifying and horrific shinies I've ever seen in PokeMMO, okay? And you have to see the reason why very quickly, okay? Oh, you can't even see it, actually. Okay, I'll tell you why. It's a star OT. And we'll talk about it in a video later. It is a star OT. If you know what that means, you know. If not, we'll have to watch the video later. Howdy, I'm a new player with about 190 hours. Is there anything I should use my Master Balls on? That is a great question. I am a boomer, right? Okay, I'm a boomer with 8,000 hours, and I still have all my Master Balls, which hopefully should tell you like how valuable they are and how like few and far between you need to use them. Generally, you want to use Master Balls on shiny Pokemon that could KO themselves. One of the biggest new player mistakes that I see is people Master Balling alphas out of frustration because they can be very difficult to catch. It's not worth wasting 1 out of 5 of like a very limited item on 40k on average, right? It's not worth it. Don't Master Ball alphas. Don't Master Ball legendaries. It's just, once again, not Pokeyen worth it, and it's not, yeah, it's just not worth it, right? You can use timer balls. You can use other things. There's way better things, right? If you want, you know, I always say, if you want, this is just efficiency talk. If you want to use your Master Ball on a Bidoof, if that brings you joy, then more power to you. That's, you know, once again, play, you know, do whatever you want to do in the game. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. It's more of like a suggestion, like, hey, like this is inefficient. If it's still fun for you, whatever. I have to qualify that because people get really upset when I say, hey, don't do this thing. People get kind of really mad, which I understand. I don't like being told what to do either. I get it, okay? But yeah, usually you want to keep Master Balls for shiny Pokemon that could KO themselves that you're not prepared for. One of the biggest examples I give is that one time I was ×5 hoarding for Lickitung and Wobbuffet over in Cerulean Cave in Kanto, right? And I took one step to the left. I misclicked one step in Cerulean Cave, right? And I encountered a level 63 or whatever Electrode, right? And now thankfully that Electrode wasn't shiny, but if it was, it would have 1,000,000% had self-destruct / explosion, right? And I didn't have a damp Pokemon on because I didn't think I would need one at that spot. So that would have been a really good position where I would have had to use a Master Ball and needed that Master Balls. Same with like Basculins. Like there's certain Pokemon that you want to have Master Balls for to help protect you from losing them because shinies are so rare in PokeMMO. That's the way to use Master Balls in my personal opinion. Would a Pokemon caught in a Master Ball make it more valuable? Not really, no. However, there are some people who collect alphas caught in Master Balls because it's so funny. It's kind of like they'll look like a box of shame is what they'll call it. I kind of am interested in something like that, but I have to store it on an alt account because it just takes up way too much space. But like technically there are some people who do that, but like there's too many alphas in Master Balls and not nearly enough collectors, you know? Honestly, this is a really, really good point, Turtle D, to bring up. Sometimes you can use a Master Ball to flex a shiny that was wild caught instead of egged. Cool for things like Beldum. Yes, that is actually super true. Like one of the most like based things I've ever seen a Master Ball used for was, I think it was Neo who caught his Riolu, his wild shiny Riolu in a Master Ball. That's a cool, because then it shows for sure it was wild caught, like at a glance, versus having to go to the catch thing or whatever. That is a cool way to do it if you want to do that, for sure. It's something to consider. This is a pretty good question. How long do you think it takes to master flipping? Master flipping? I mean, the boring answer is probably like 10,000 hours to master something. That which is probably true. Like flipping honestly has so much depth in PokeMMO that, yeah, 10,000 hours is probably right. But I would say to get sufficient in flipping, like to be pretty good at it, to make enough money every day, you probably only need like maybe like 100 hours. It depends. Maybe like a 50 to 100 to be like decent at it. Depending. That's also depending if you have knowledge from other games. If you've flipped in other games or have prior knowledge of markets, like it's going to be a lot easier as well. So I would say 50 to 100 hours like from pure scratch, and then like to like master, but to not truly to master like 90% of flipping, maybe like 95% of flipping, probably 2,000 hours. I think 2,000 hours you will know so much it'll be unbelievable. And then like obviously to truly master it's 10,000 hours, but I'd say those are the different benchmarks: 100 hours, 2,000, 10,000. Do you know how many shinies you've caught in total? I think it's around 45 or 46 now. I actually don't know for sure. There is an alpha right now over in Hoenn, so let's go here. I'll fly over to this PC to get close to the alpha. We can actually go check my shiny box really quick. I think it's around 45 or 46. I'm missing one. There should be a Miltank here, and then obviously a Hoppip should be. Let's grab him actually. Or sorry, did I say Miltank? I'm so sorry. Maril. I caught a Maril on an alt account. This is also, all of these are including shinies I've gotten on alt accounts. A good example is my Muck is from an account called Speed Shiny, which is an account that I did a speed run to a shiny Pokemon from scratch. So I count that as like an OT shiny, but other people may not. The leaderboards, for example, for PokeMMO do not, which makes sense because tracking like alt account OTs would get ridiculous. So I do have a couple alt account OTs in here, like some, like 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 cool Duder shinies. The one speed shiny, and then I also have my shiny Spinnerack, which is Squirtle OT, because it was one from a catch event. So if you want to count those, you know, you don't have, it's up to you. But just pure Patrouski OTs, or just I guess OTs in general that I count, we're looking at around I think 45, right? So 3, 4, 5, and there should be a Marvel. Yeah, 45 total shinies now at this point, which is kind of crazy. I kind of take it for granted / don't think about it very much. I always say I kind of just get a shiny Pokemon, throw it in the box, and move on. And we don't really get to appreciate, shunners don't really get to appreciate how much work they put into things and how much time they spend on things. We kind of just go on to the next grind, you know? How do you choose which shinies you level to level 100? Most of the ones that I level to 100 have some sort of purpose. So for example, the Spinnerack I use as like a swarm Pokemon a lot of times to increase my single encounters per hour. My Ponyta I do use as a Flame Body Mon sometimes, but I probably should level that up. My Rampardos I use kind of as a PVM Pokemon because it just hits so hard, and then also sometimes in like PvP, but I pretty rarely do it. Some of them are PvP Mons, like this guy is PvP Mon. This is PvP-able, like the Nidoking. It's not great, obviously, but the Quagsire I think I've bred to be PvP orientated. Some of which are just like trained and ready to actually, you know, not my Marowak is not, it's EV trained, but not actually, I wouldn't call this PvPable at all with the mild nature and such. But yeah, a lot of these I could put a lot more effort into and breed up, and I'm sure I will at some point. Someone also nicknamed my Kakuna Beans. So while we're here, while we're going over my shinies, let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Here, honestly, it's been a sec since I've been over this on stream. This is a new piece of content we've kind of been working up. Now, I do have something called Shiny Hunting Punishments. So whenever I go dry, when shiny hunting, I do force myself to do these certain punishments. So every 1,000 encounters, I have to at least make 5 rare eggs. Every 5,000 encounters dry, I have to open 1 mysterious ball. Every 10,000 encounters dry, I owe you guys a randoms game. And speaking of, I owe you guys 2 randoms games today, okay? So we will play some PvP on stream today, which will be fun. At 30k dry, I have to make 300k profit via some method. At 50k dry, buy the wife a present. 60k, eat an olive. Thankfully, we haven't seen these yet. Ever since I've implemented these challenges, I haven't seen this. We already went 112k dry prior to starting these. I guess that's kind of what started this, because this was the challenge we talked about. But yeah, we'll see if any more of those pop up. But for now, just random games today for fun. The interesting thing about the alpha deck, someone asked me how far along my alpha dex is. My alpha, I've never worked on my alpha dex purposefully, so anything with my alpha dex is just like I've accidentally, you know, bred for these or gotten these or whatever, right? The boring thing, unfortunately, about the alpha dex is number one, there's no reward for it, and number two, the alpha dex is kind of pay to win. Not that it's like, I mean, it's still a cool, it takes time or whatever. But all you need to do for the alpha dex, you don't actually have to go catch them in the wild. All you have to do is buy the alpha Pokemon off the GTL, breed them down, and then level them up, and that's it. And it's still like a little grind. Honestly, like it's not that like pay to win. It's not like you still have to like put a lot of time in, but it's just spending money and then doing the thing, and then it's just not that really. It's a cool little accomplishment. Now it's not, you know, it's just comparatively. I think it's because it's comparing the alpha decks to the national Pokedex, where like the national decks, you do have to go catch every Pokemon in the wild. Like that's really interesting and is like legit complicated, whereas you can cheese the alpha decks, right, where you can't cheese the normal Pokedex. This is a great question. This is, dude, when I asked this, I also asked this question when I was new and I was very, very confused. What season did the Torch come out, and is it coming back? All right, the Torch and Pitchfork Vanity. This is a great question. The Torch and Pitchfork Vanity are not, they are seasonal vanities, but they aren't, if that makes sense. They don't come back every year, I believe. I don't think they come back like they don't. I thought it was a Halloween thing, right? That is not the case. The Torch and Pitchfork come back seasonally whenever the devs put them in the game so the players can riot, right? There have been many riots over the course of PokeMMO's history. And whenever the players want to riot, the devs always throw in the Torch and Pitchfork and kind of let them spend their RP, and we fucking buy them and we go riot. We spend stupid, right? But it's a good meme. It's a good meme. I think I own a Torch, but not a Pitchfork, I believe. But yeah, whenever you see Torch and Pitchforks in the gift shop, it's a good way to know that the community is not so happy with the devs. I think last time they missed it was either the date for Johto or the date for the anniversary event, something like that. They missed some release date. They implemented the Torch and Pitchfork so that we could riot. It's a good meme. Okay, this is a good tip for new players. As I see a lot of new players, I honestly did this. I made the same exact mistake. It's how I know how to fix it, right? One of the big mistakes I made while doing the PokeMMO storylines was skipping a lot of trainers. In my opinion, you probably shouldn't skip any trainers unless you're like have a team prepped and you're very, very experienced and you really know what you're doing. Not skipping trainers is going to get you a lot more XP. I see so many players who are like, hey, I'm stuck at this gym. I'm under leveled. I don't have the XP. What do I do now? And a lot of times now you have to just sit in the grass and grind, which sucks. But if you fought every trainer, trainers give you more XP than wild battles because you get like a trainer bonus XP. You get more XP just from fighting trainers. So making sure to not skip trainers and fighting every trainer along the storyline is really, really important for balance. If you do get stuck on XP and you're at a point where maybe you can see some ×5 hordes, it can be good to get a Sweet Scent Pokemon, get a Discharge Pokemon, Earthquake, something like that. It's tough to do in the storyline, but it's possible. I even use like a Magnitude Diglett or Dugtrio during Kanto that you get from like Diglett Cave. I used that to like, I believe, or a Bulldoze, some AoE move you can do there to train against certain Pokemon around that area. But it's kind of awkward. You don't really want to have to do that because doing that during the storyline is really awkward. Your first storyline is the hardest. Once you get your first storyline done, you can always go back to that previous region with the level cap of 100 and then XP train Pokemon there up to whatever cap you have in your new region. Now make sure when you're XP training in the old region, don't ever go above the max level cap in the region you're stuck in currently, because then you'll lose access to that Pokemon, right? So make sure to never go over that level cap. Be very careful when you're leveling in the previous region, but that's the best way. This is a good question. Okay. Someone said, do you recommend finishing all regions on an alt for candy farming during the Halloween event? It's tough because obviously it's nice. Like obviously having alts for holidays events is really, really good, but you also might be so busy during the event and doing those rotations that you don't have time to hop on an alt. But it depends on the mechanics of the event itself. If they do like swarms, for example, for particle effects, that's pretty good for alts. If they do like alpha specific Halloween swarms, that's really good for alts. If you want to get the like untradeable vanity on alts, you know, for beating the pumpkin, you're gonna want alts for that. Like, it really depends on what your goals are and depends on what you want to do. Having just one account with all storylines done will get you so much, and you'll have so much. It's plenty, right? But if you want to go above and beyond and do more, I mean, having alt accounts, like at least one with all, is very, very powerful for sure. Especially having multiple alt accounts up to like, I think Lavender Town is when you like unlock that's where the boss is at, is in Lavender Town. So it's up to you. It's really up to you. But it's a great question. Alts are always good for events, but in different variances, different amounts. All regions mean another Alpha Zorua if the mechanics stay the same. I honestly forgot about the Alpha Zorua spawn as well. That is true. And Alpha Zoruas are a couple 100k, if not like 700k maybe. My only problem with that is you're a fucking psychopath, Cav. To get the Alpha Zorua encounter, don't you have to do all the wisps, right? I guess 500k is the cheapest. It's like pretty good Pokeyen. Don't you have to do all the wisps? The wisps, okay, I'm gonna warn you guys. Doing wisps during Halloween is my least favorite PokeMMO content I've ever done in my entire life. If you have to do that on all, I'm not even going for one Zorua. I'd rather just buy a Zorua off the GTL and breed it. I hated Wisps personally. I don't mind doing Wisps, honestly. Dude, more power to you. I respect it. If you want to do alts and do that, it's probably a really good Pokeyen per hour. I will pass, man. It was its own scavenger hunt, took less time than one region of Wisp. Remember Zorua was the cats? I don't remember this. It was super quick. I hilariously, dude, there's been so much going on. I don't remember this. And, okay, good to know. Good correction. Do you think they'll add a speed up option? No. The reason why a speed up option can't exist in an MMO, in any MMO, like you can't like, oh, let's turn World of Warcraft on 2x speed. Let's turn RuneScape on 2x. It breaks the game because then everybody has to play on that speed or they're being inefficient and falling behind, right? It becomes a competitive, any online game can't play at 2x speed. I see this question a ton, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of tilts me because I feel like the only way you could ask this question is if you have such a zoomer brain that you've only ever played Pokemon games on emulators, so you're used to like turning your emulator speed to like 10 times. And if you do that, more power to you, nothing wrong with that. But going to every other, like, this is just traditional Pokemon speed, if not faster. Like this, like, I know it's not your 10 times emulator ROB hack speed, but like this is just traditional Pokemon speed, if not a little faster because of custom strings. There will never be a speed up option. It might be okay to like, we might need to slow down our brains. We might actually be like, maybe like a 2-hour break from TikTok. Like we might actually be zooming so hard. We need to like chill. We're asking to like speed up other. Imagine if someone was like, hey, can we like put League of okay, be fair, League would be so much faster on 2x speed or so much better. But like, you can't just put an MMO or an online game on 2x speed. It doesn't work like that. It also, it's okay. A good comparison is like, this was a big issue. Was it with Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 4? I think it's Fallout 4. I think it's Fallout 4. During speedruns of Fallout 4, you have to cap the game at 60 FPS because the game is tied to its frame rate. So you actually like move faster and like do things at a faster action with higher FPS, which is unfair for speedrunning. It's kind of similar to PokeMMO, right? You can't have like an unfair advantage because you have better hardware than someone else, right? That's really lame. Would you quit if you accidentally release your Shuckle? What I would do is I would make a support request as soon as possible, and hopefully I have a recording of me accidentally doing it, and they would probably decently likely refund it or fix it. There was an infamous clip. I think it was the Gwadoo. It was they made like a rule change. No, sorry. I almost forgot. The infamous Gwadoo update. I almost want to. Okay, if you try to release, I'm gonna do this on stream. Okay, if you try to release a shiny Pokemon. Even if I can't even do it. If I click yes there, I'm pretty sure it will give me an extra warning, right? It'll say like, hey, are you sure? Like it'll give you an extra. I'll try it on like do I have a different Pokemon I could use, like a high Vmon? Let's do like, I don't know, 20 plus in some stats. I don't know. If you try to release like a Pokemon with high enough IVs, it'll do the same, where it'll say like, hey, are you sure? And this update happened because Gwadoo accidentally released a which are this release yes see this, so this didn't used to exist. This is new. This was called the Gwadoo update because Gwadoo accidentally released like his shiny Turtwig or something, and you think like, oh, how could someone possibly accidentally release a shiny like that? Like, you know, it's so crazy. If you watch the clip, I have a video somewhere on it. If you watch the clip, it happens ridiculously quickly, like less than 1 second, like maybe even less than half a second from like a misclick to release to like, it was wild. It was, I was like, holy shit, anybody could have done that. It's wild. But he ended up getting his Turtwig, like the devs saved it. Like they went into the files and they like got it back and refunded it to him, which was really, really amazing of them to do because that was devastating. Like losing a shiny starter like that is just, oh, I can't imagine how that would feel. They desperately need like an event tab or something. There absolutely should be something in game that tells you when like upcoming events are happening. And in my opinion, that is one of the biggest fair critiques of the game, that like it is kind of embarrassing, a little harsh, but like kind of embarrassing. There's no like billboard in the hub cities like Vermilion that said like a job board style thing that says like, hey, like Shiny Wars is currently happening, check out the forums or check out this thing to see more, or hey, like Halloween event is coming up, like blah, blah. Like it is kind of crazy we don't have in-game resources that point us in that direction. I think we like just, it would be even like a message when you log. Imagine there was like a system message when you log in that says, hey, make sure to root on your local shiny hunters, or hey, Halloween event might happen in about 2 weeks. Like that should be the case. Like, let players know what's happening in game. They shouldn't have to go to outside sources like content creators and the forums just to understand the news of what's happening in the game, you know? This is a crazy story of progress. I found Patrouski on January 1st, 2024, played 550 hours of PokeMMO, finished the Pokedex in all regions, caught 3 OT shinies, dumped 20 million Pokeyen into mysterious cherish balls, came back and sold them for 100 mil. Dude, good work. That's amazing. Nice work, dude. Do you think the 2012/2013 market will be more active after event season? I think even during event season, it depends what people are doing, but like, yeah, right now with the 2012 market's pretty quiet because every endgame player who like collects things like that is either saving money for event season or spending money shiny hunting. No one really has the extra capital to just waste on like frivolous collectibles, right? I guess shinies are kind of frivolous collectibles, but it's for at least a, you know, shiny war, an event, right? It wouldn't surprise me if people start making a lot more money during the events, because events are usually the best money makers in PokeMMO. You've got to, you know, play the events. There's such good Pokeyen, so it wouldn't surprise me if that kind of market picks up a bit during events. But we'll see. It really depends on how much excess Pokeyen people have to want to put into collectibles. Fun leveling plus shunting spots in Kanto or Johto. I should have videos. I might not have a video on that topic, honestly. It's a good question. One of my favorite XP training spots in Kanto, that's also a spot that I shiny hunt at, is in Cerulean Cave, Wobbuffet and Lickitung. I've talked about that spot a few times, but 2 really, really cool shinies, Wobbuffet and Lickitung. You do need Leppas for that shunt, is the problem. But if you want to get those shinies anyway, you have to Leppa shunt for it anyway, so you might as well XP train there, you know, and like kind of passively get a shiny while also XP training efficiently. Hey, Pat, with event season coming up, I was wondering what's your opinion on putting particle effects on 2012/2013 Pokemon? Thanks. That is a very interesting and good question. So what he's referring to is you can defeat the Pumpkin boss, and whenever you defeat the Pumpkin boss, I think it might just be on hard mode. I'm not sure. I think it might be on hard mode, but he puts particle effects on every Pokemon in your party. So it's a limited time particle effect that is only available during that Halloween event for that year, right? Some people like to collect those and put them on their shinies, for example. I actually actively don't like those on shiny Pokemon. I think it's a bit tacky for me. Like, I respect those who enjoy them as like a challenge, but I don't like them personally. I like just seeing the like shiny particle effect. However, on 2012, it's really like I don't know if there is a consensus. Like, it really depends on what buyers want and if they want that extra rarity or if it looks bad to them. That's genuinely, I don't think there is a for sure answer to that question. It's a great question, but I don't know if we have an answer to it. Also, there is a Pokeball over here that I've never picked up. Should I pick it up, Chad, or should I leave it? That's hilarious. I've never noticed that. How did I not notice that until now? That's amazing. But yeah, I honestly, yeah, maybe it stands out in the GTL. Maybe it would help you sell. I don't know. Maybe you want to put a couple particles on 2012 mons, but not all of them. Maybe you could test the waters. It's a total coin flip, man. We'll have to see what happens. Wow, I saw this listed and I was like, that's really cheap, no? And it kind of is still cheap, but like, dude, what happened to Fairy Elf Bot hats? I'm surprised this vanity is not more expensive. It's a pink Santa hat. I'm actually gonna buy this for 300k. I should be saving my yen for like shiny wars, but that's just too cheap. Like, this vanity is amazing. I love this vanity. It's so good. Let's check while we're spending money stupidly, let's also check 2012 mons and see what we're looking at. 177k cheapest. It's just such a good time probably to invest into stuff because everybody's selling stuff for cheap to get money for shiny wars. People are gonna be selling investments and such. Tauroses for like 400k. Why is there so many Tauroses on the GTL? Oh man, that's actually crazy. That's wild. Oh wow, dude. Let's go by just listed. Dratini for 400k. Aerodactyl for 400k. If you ever want to get into 2012 collecting, now is the time. Lapras for 400. Even Electabuzz. These are like rarish 2012s. That's wild. Charizard's down below 3. Dude, that's actually crazy. Snorlax is still high. Man. What a... Wow. I would love a 2012 Ditto. That would be sick to own. That's crazy. It has a particle effect on this at the 2012. Okay, we were just talking about that. Wow, interesting stuff. All right, I thought this is a really cool forum post to go ahead and cover really quickly that clears up an issue that is inherently really unclear in PokeMMO. There's something you can get banned for called GTL scamming, which from my understanding is usually posting an item over and over and over again, trying to get someone to misclick it or buy it when it's like for a different price than what it's actually worth. A good example is mysterious Premier Balls, right? Mysterious Premier Balls are really cool for shiny hunting. You can get an alpha Pokemon, yada, right? Mysterious Premier Balls 2022 don't give you the increased shiny rate that these ones do, and they don't have similar. They're a totally different item, and they shouldn't be worth this amount of Pokeyen, right? So people who like spam list these are generally, from my understanding, trying to get people to like misclick them to like think that they're a different item to hopefully just rake in that Pokeyen for something they're not worth. Another good example is like Rapidashes. People will spam list Rapidashes with like hidden ability access for like 1.2 mil. Or like a particle effect, a certain particle effect. Let's do just all. They will list like this, non-shiny ones. They will try to get people to click these. They'll list them for like 1.1 mil or whatever, trying to get someone to like just mentally think it's a shiny, and they'll keep relisting that until someone does that, which is obviously you're trying to essentially scam someone. The ruling on this and the explanation from because a lot of people don't understand it, and it's hard to qualify what is GTL scamming. It's a really tough thing to qualify. It is not market manipulation. It is not buying out. Like buying out an item is not against the rules, from my understanding. All these other things get kind of thrown into it. Like investing and stocking up on an item should be totally fine. Let's go ahead and let's read what Bearmater says. I haven't even read what he says. In those cases we mentioned earlier, we punish obvious attempts to make someone pay a lot more than what the asset is worth at the time, tricking players in any way, including spamming the GTL with items of X value, then maliciously putting the same of the, so like listing a shiny, like, the same of the times 300 value immediately into believing the item is worth more than it is. For example, saying market 25k items are worth 250k is a scam. Stating untrue statements as the truth to increase value is generally a scam. Now, you could just what's it called, it's not illegal or not against the rules to, if you're a new player, right, and you list a shitty shiny Rapidash for 5 mil, you're not going to get banned for that. That's not what they're saying. It's more so like if you are spamming something in purpose to get someone to misclick it, right? This is something they've talked about a lot. We don't punish a legit snipe of underpriced assets or hypothetically buying all items to increase their price. Yep. So yeah, they do not punish that sort of like quote unquote manipulation, which it is to some extent, right? Not going to happen, but you get the point. Yeah, okay. This is a really important thing. What was this other thing? Not directly related, but is it lowballing? Is lowballing considered scamming? I.e., if I offer someone 10 mil for a Q hat or something along those lines. If you don't know what Q hat, I actually made a mistake recently. I thought the Q hat was of similar value to Electric Storm and Desu Lab Coat. It is not. From my understanding, the Q hat is actually around, I think Awk corrected me. Let me double check. Let me get the exact numbers. I think it was like 2 to 4 bill. Q hat is currently valued at around 3 to 4 bill tops. That's I apologize because I really do want to give you guys correct. The problem is when you reach that level of wealth, like a Vanity being worth that much, they sell so infrequently, it's hard to track the values and hard to like really log the kind of, they can't sell in the GTL, you know, so. But I want to correct that really quick. My understanding, this is a great post from Grisaya, by the way. My understanding is that scamming would involve someone attempting to convince someone to give something away or sell for very cheap via social engineering. Lowballing should always be fine. Probably not, but we'll see. It depends. It depends on the case. In the example above, it would really depend on more factors. I don't really want to go into too much detail, but we can differentiate between malicious offers and non-malicious ones. For example, we had users who were trying to buy items cheaper, claiming we announced the said items would be returning to the gift shop. I will not list a whole list of potential examples simply because these cases are very different from each other. I hope it clarifies a bit. This is a very cool response from Bearmater. Really, I honestly think it's helpful as a response we could get. I think reiterating this kind of stuff, this is a 2023 post, like over a year ago. But I think it's really important to shine light on these because these are the kind of confusing things that aren't as clear in PokeMMO. So hopefully you found this little video helpful. If you did, like it, didn't, dislike it, have a great day. Good luck in PokeMMO. Honestly, it's so cool to see with PokeForce. The meta Pokemon right now in PokeForce for completing the main quest line or whatever is Raticate, because it learns like Sword Stance. Does it get Guts in Poke? I'm not sure if it like has that ability or not. But it like SD Raticate is like the metamon, which is really cool to see. It's so fun to see new games release with very, very unique metas, especially Pokemon style games, you know? Also, guys, the PokeForce summer test ends in like 24 hours or like a day. I think it ends the 11th. They're doing a screenshot with everybody like tomorrow, I think. So please, if you haven't gotten it, you've got to go now. You've got to go fast. Okay, there's not much time left, so you got to go do it for sure. I don't think I've mentioned this at all today, guys, so I gotta chill out for a quick sec. Apologies, but if you want to support the stream this month, okay, the best way to support the stream, we only have this offer available for 17 more days, okay? It is to subscribe to HelloFresh using my link or code in the description. It is an unbelievably generous kickback to the stream. Number one, it gets you food, so you just get like a cheap product of a nice, healthy, tasty as fuck meals. And then also I will open one of each mysterious ball in PokeMMO, including a mysterious Pokeball, a Great Ball, an Ultra Ball, a Cherish Ball, and a Premier Ball. It's like 1.3 million Pokeyen in rare shiny opportunities for each new subscriber. So far I've opened 5 of each, which has costed a lot of Pokeyen, but it's also really fun. And I'll do it on Charm, I'll do it on Dinner Status to have the lowest shiny rate possible in PokeMMO. The best way to support this stream this month only is via the HelloFresh subs. So I really appreciate everybody who goes above and beyond and does that. So confirmation, yeah, the PokeForce demo ends on September 12th at midnight, right? So it actually ends. This always trips people up. It actually ends tomorrow then, right? Because like you're not gonna be able to like wake up Thursday. It ends Wednesday night essentially, right? That's midnight ET. That's my time zone or whatever. So be aware of that. So yeah, people always get like, it's easy to get confused on that because someone will say an event ends Thursday, but it's actually like, it's more like Wednesday night, in my opinion, right? Technically it's Thursday, but it's at midnight. So just keep that in mind. If you want to play PokeForce, you know, if you're watching this video, you probably have about 10 or 12, probably have 12 hours or so. So, probably midnight the day this video gets put out for the stream recap. So you can go do it in that time. And I think it's worth it for a limited vanity that will never be released again other than a limited summer test. If the game takes off at all, it's going to do numbers. All right, we're going to hop off of PokeMMO, fellas. Thank you for joining me for this part of the stream, the PokeMMO side. We're going to hop over to PokeForce and finish up that beta test, or just summer test. So, like the stream recap if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe if you want to see daily Pokemon MMO content. Discord's down below to join that community. You can follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, this month, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal/Venmo donations, and most importantly, once again, HelloFresh. But you just heard me talk about that, so I'm not going to give you guys that spiel again. Just have a great day. Enjoy PokeMMO, and good luck on whatever you're doing. Good luck on your shiny hunts, good luck on your randoms PvP, and good luck on all your grinds. Okay, guys? Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end of the video. That really means the world to me, and it means even more worlds to me if you go above and beyond and support my content financially like all of these lovely people have done. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.